Hey everybody, happy Monday!
Happy Monday, everyone. It's been a little while since we've been in this location. We've been doing so many rescapes and everything, but we've got a cool video for you. What do we got today?
Best orange fish.
Best orange fish. Now, this video idea, which is going to turn into a video series, actually came from some of the viewers, and they were talking about this in one of our live streams, and they were leaving that in the comments that we should do this. So here we go. This is going to be the first video of fish based on color. We've got orange fish today because there are some really cool ones. So in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about more community-related fish first, and then we're going to get into more of the cichlids, different types of fish as we go through towards the end of the video. Let's just get right into it. What do you got?
Well, you can start.
I can start.
Yeah.
Okay, well, number one, this is a fish we recently bought. This is the thick lip sunset gourami. I really love this fish. As you can see, it's got this really nice dorsal fin. It's got a nice deep orange, almost like a burnt orange. It's been doing great in this 29 gallon with some really awesome, brilliant green rasboras. So love this fish. It can add a nice bit of orange to your tank. What do you have?
Well, while we're speaking of gouramis, I think you should definitely include the honey gourami, one of my favorite gouramis.
And the nice thing about the honey gourami is it's a really mellow type of gourami. And the sunset is fairly mellow as well. Sometimes you get those larger gouramis and they can get a little bit more aggressive. By the way, before I forget, we have species profiles on a lot of the fish we mentioned in this video. If you want more information about how to keep them and care for them, check out the description below. But yes, the honey gourami is great for smaller tanks. It adds a nice burst of orange color and is a relatively peaceful fish. Now, next one. I'm going to combine these, otherwise this video would be really long. Turns out there's a lot of orange fish, and that is some of the live bears, guppies, platies, and swordtails. Now, I know that these are relatively common fish, but they're really pretty, and if you want to add a little bit of orange color, check out all of those fish. They could potentially give you some nice bright orange, especially the guppies. I have seen some swordtails with some amazing orange color.
Yeah.
What do you got?
This would probably be one of my favorite orange fish of all times. So yes, they're going to be tiny. They're going to be cute. They're going to be really orange. Ember Tetras. We have them in our 15 gallon in the kitchen. I get to see them all the time. And if you want a nice little shot of color in your tank, get yourself a bunch of Ember Tetras. You won't be sorry.
The Ember Tetras are probably one of the most, as you mentioned, the brightly colored orange fish that are going to be on this list. You can see them from across the room. Even though they're smaller, you get a nice big group, and they're going to give you lots of orange shimmering in the tank. Very cool fish. Next one, the clown loach. This is a great fish. It's a goofy fish. Light, nice orange color with the black stripes. I've loved these fish since I was a kid. I think they will always be in our fish room. We've got a group of 6 in our 150, and they provide a lot of action. They're silly, like I said, and they get that orange color. Now, for this particular fish, you're going to need a larger tank. A full-grown clown loach can be close to 10 inches. The ones that we have in our 150, the 2 largest ones, are probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 7 inches or so. They don't grow really fast, but it is something you're going to need a larger tank for.
For the next one, this is actually my very first purchase that I ever made from Flip Aquatics. They are a channel sponsor. If you're interested in these, definitely check them out. And I did a build with these. I should link that. Link that for your enjoyment, because there's also orange in the background for that tank. It's the pumpkin shrimp. They are, even if you've never had shrimp before, if you have had shrimp before, pumpkin shrimp are an absolute must-have. They have so much great color, especially from Flip Aquatics, the ones we got. They're so beautiful. I just absolutely love my tank that have them in there.
The next one, and this is one I really enjoy, we've had them in the fish room for a while, and that is the super red bristlenose pleco. I know it says super red in the name, but really they're orange. So they get super orange, a nice dark orange. They're great fish. They can serve as a cleanup crew. They're going to eat some algae for you. Absolutely love these fish. We've got them actually spread out in a number of different places in our fish room because we've bred them from time to time. Really nice addition. If you need something that is going to eat algae, but you don't really want the standard bristlenose because you don't want the brown or the albino, the super reds are something to look at. They also come in a long fin variety. They can be a great addition, relatively peaceful. They get a little bit on the larger side, maybe 6 inches or so, so you're going to want a little bit of a larger tank, maybe a 20 long at least or greater, but really nice looking fish.
All right, for our last community fish, I know maybe you're getting scared. don't forget about the goldfish. It's an absolute no-brainer. We're going to include the goldfish because you really can't beat the orange color.
Absolutely. And they come in lots of different colors, obviously. But we had some in our fish room a long time ago. Yeah. They were really pretty. We just needed to move them to a larger situation, which wound up being a pond. But goldfish come in all different sizes and shapes, and they can add a little bit of orange to your tank. Now, this is going to be a cooler water fish, and it's not necessarily going to be compatible with the other fish that we've mentioned because of the water temperature differences. But if you are looking for a tank with some really cool orange fish, goldfish can certainly be that fish for you. Mm-hmm. All right, so these next fish are not necessarily community fish. They're going to be cichlids, and so you'd want to make sure that you have the proper setup. Again, we've got the species profiles. Check them out in the description below because not all the fish on these lists are compatible with one another. The first one is the Eureka Red Cichlid, and I know just like the Super Red Bristlenose, these fish aren't really red. They're more of like a burnt orange. Yeah. They are peacock cichlid. Only the males are going to get that orange and blue type color. The females are going to stay more of a brown color, so this is a great fish if you want to do an all-male peacock tank and want some orange in the tank. The Eureka Red might be for you. They don't get very large, so they're a smaller peacock cichlid. This is a fish you could certainly consider keeping in a 4-foot tank or above. Really great fish. Now, to stay on that same path, there is the red zebra. This is also an African cichlid. This is an Mbuna cichlid. You may have seen our red zebra cichlids in our 75-gallon Mbuna tank, but this is a really great fish. If you've got an Mbuna cichlid tank and want some red, these are going to be some of the brightest red fish on our list. They're absolutely amazing, but they really do, they're going to fit into that African cichlid tank. That's either an Mbuna tank. Sometimes you can mix them with the peacocks, although that's not necessarily something a lot of people do. But it's a great looking fish, and just to stay on that, while we're on the subject, the last African cichlid that we're going to talk about here is the leleupi. This is a fantastic Lake Tanganyikan cichlid. A lot of the Lake Tanganyikan fish, they stay kind of silvery, or they have a little bit of iridescence to them, but a lot of times they don't show a lot of color. The leleupi show tremendous color. There's two varieties. There's a yellow variety and an orange variety. I tend to prefer the orange variety. That's what you're seeing here. That's what's on our 33 long. Absolutely love this fish. Now, you've got a couple you want to talk about.
Yes, I do.
And those are more New World cichlids. So these aren't African cichlids anymore. These would be cichlids that are South Central American. What do you got?
Well, the first one is the very first fish that you got that I really, really got attached to. His name was Happy, and he was the parrotfish. Can't beat the color, can't beat the personality. It's just a beautiful fish.
Now, I know that the parrotfish is not for everybody because of the way that it looks, and some people don't like the fact that it's a hybrid, and that is certainly something to consider. Parrotfish get quite large, so this is another fish you're going to want at least a 75-gallon for. It's going to be a very energetic fish, and sometimes it can harass other fish, although it can't do a lot of damage because of the structure of its mouth, but they are, generally speaking, high energy, pretty goofy. You also have to be careful because if you have other fish in the tank that are cichlids, sometimes they realize that they can bully a parrotfish. So as long as you get your tank mates right, this could be a really awesome orange fish. What else you got?
All right, the very last fish is actually one of my favorite fish in the fish room right now. She is a true water puppy. She's a real sweetheart. Her name is Ruby, and she is the Midas cichlid.
Midas cichlids are so much fun. Now, Midas cichlids and red devils, I would include both of those in this list. The Midas cichlids and red devils can vary in their coloration. Some of them are more white. I've seen them where they're almost all white. Some of them have some white patches. And then there are those that become completely and totally orange. Ruby is one of those fish that turn totally orange, but when we had our male, he had a lot more whites. But if you're looking for orange fish, the Midas red devil cichlid is something to consider. Please understand this fish can get extremely large. This is a fish that can easily approach, the males can get to a foot or more. Sometimes they're best kept in a tank all by themselves. But if you're looking for an orange fish for a very, very large, very aggressive sort of South Central American tank, or you're looking for a fish that you just want to have one fish and just have it recognize you and get really excited when you walk in the room, in a larger tank, preferably at least a 75-gallon, but for the males, you're really looking at a 6-foot tank. This could be the fish for you. So those are some suggestions if you're looking for orange fish. Hopefully we've covered the full gamut from
hope so.
very small Ember Tetras, pumpkin shrimp, community fish, all the way up to the big giant New World cichlids that are best kept by themselves. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got suggestions for really cool orange fish, please leave them down in the description below.
What'd we forget?
Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.